Alrighty, time for one of those wonderful sponsored video reviews. As usual, we've got some LED headlights that someone wants me to check out. So, I was given a choice of a couple different styles from our sponsor today, AUDEXEN, AUDEXEN or something like that. So this wasn't his first choice. He wanted me to try one of the newer styles, but I wanted to give this one a go due to the actual lights that are used in here. A lot of these lights are going to be the same as far as, brightness and output and all that. So the things that we want to focus on are the little bits. How well is the light pattern? How do they actually look? Style points. Do they affect FM radio? Because some of these cause static. I can't test flicker because my Jeep's older. But anyway, this is your, run-of-the-mill light. It's got DRL, that's what that little red wire over there is, daytime running light. So we can wire that to the parking lights, and these outer lights over here will actually turn on with the parking lights. We got a low beam here, and we got a high beam up top. So hopefully this new lens design, this low beam lens design has a nice cutoff, because these guys, just the round lenses themselves do not have a good low beam cutoff. One of the previous lights that I had just used these for the low and the high, and they weren't really great at all. So I've got some higher hopes for this. So in the box they also include adapters as well. So if you need to wire them differently, I think some Toyotas, the plugs are built like different. You can use this jumper so you can wire them correctly. So that's cool. Just to run through a couple specs, it's all, the same stuff. This is claims to be a 105 watt headlight system, 4500 lumens low beam and 6500 lumens high beam. One of the features that I saw on the Amazon page is this vent back here, in case you ever have like a fogging issue where you get moisture inside the lens. This is actually a vent that you can pull. They say to just let it sit for an hour or two, and hopefully that'll get rid of any moisture that's in the light. Cool. Stop yamming and start jamming. See what these look like. Alright, so currently this is the light that I have now. A little alien eye going on here. But it does have a pretty remarkable pattern. I was pretty happy with it. Can't really complain. Low beam's pretty clean, high beam's nice. But there's a little bit of a light gap between like the low and the high. There's just like a little strip that's dimmer than the rest. And it's not super bad. It's just, if you notice stuff like that, it's a little annoying. But I don't know if I really enjoy the look of it a ton. I don't know. A big thing about this is style. So it depends what you want your truck to look like. So for me, I'm not really sure if that's doing it for me. It's got a nice light pattern, but I also like things looking a little pretty. I don't mind the trail damage over here. That was from the Moab trip. I'm actually going to order some replacement panels and actually make this look a little nicer. But it does mean that we can get to our light a whole lot faster. So I guess I'll show you on this side. This is what it looks like when everything's together. So to actually get to our light, there's not a whole lot we have to remove here. Got one screw, two screw. This panel comes off. You will twist the light out of the side, and that's your side marker out of the way. Then we got a screw here and a screw here, and then this whole panel will just kind of pull off. And then we can get to this. We've got two screws on the bottom and two screws on the top. The one in the middle we don't actually want to mess with. That is to adjust the light. We will get to that later. For now, just undo the outer ones. This metal frame will come off the light, and then we can get to our prize in the back. So I'm going to get a screwdriver and we'll be right back. Alright, so once we remove the screws, we can take this frame off, so you can see that a little better. And that just holds the light into the bucket. And then we can sneak it on out of there. So this is what the old one looks like. Same setup. See, it's just got a plug on the back. And if you notice here, I actually still have a port for my previous lights, daytime running lights. So I actually spliced to this guy over here. So if you can actually hook this up one of two ways. If you wanted to hook this up to a blinker, you could. You'd have to go to this bulb down here and find which one's the blinker, because this bulb is dual circuit. It's got a running light and a blinker in there. So you could run either or to this, but it's a white, so it might look a little weird as a blinker. So I'm just going to leave mine for the daytime running light. So we'll just take the tape off here and do that. You don't have to hook it up either if you don't want to, but it is an option. Alright, So I just I crimped a little flat blade connector on there because this is just a quick connect. So you will have to get yourself a connector in order to splice that. But you can find these at auto parts stores and electronic stores and all that. They're really common. It's just the quick connect blades. So anyway, now that that's in there, you just kind of make sure they're all jammed back in there. Put the light in there, and then put the bezel on. But before I screw it all back together, I just want to turn it on and see what they look like. Okay, so first this is just the running lights, and you can see what the DRL looks like. So sometimes they're referred to as like halos or something like that, but that's all that this is. It's just a light that is on with the parking lights. So sometimes when I'm driving around, like if it's getting kind of dark but it's not dark enough for headlights, I'll just turn the parking lights on, so it just gives a nice little effect, you know, when you're far away. It's a little bit of accent lighting. Alright, so here we are with the low beam. Bring that down a little bit so you can get a better idea, so you can see the difference between them. So I've always kind of called this one the Batman symbol. I wish that it wasn't so round. If it was flatter, so it's more of like an H pattern, I'd probably enjoy it just a slight bit more. But I do really like that single beam, like that single row design. That's why I really like the first set that I got. They look really cool, but the patterns were just so bad I couldn't use them. But anyway, that's the low beam. Not half bad. So let's see what these look like. Oh yeah, so down here, that's when it really hits you. But above, that's not bad. That's comfortable to look at. That's not too shabby. This is full blast right here. This is everybody on. So I'll bring that down a little more. So overall, I don't know, it's hard to say which one's hurting me more. This one, it seems like it's more focused. Like this one, it's got these two little like strips on the side. They look really freaking just like annoying bright. This one, oh yeah. But yeah, that's one of the big things that I worry about is beam pattern, because you want to be safe to other drivers, okay? If you don't have a properly focused beam pattern with a nice cutoff, you're just pissing everyone else off, and you're endangering them, okay? Because if they can't see and they hit something, it's not going to be fun. So think about everyone else on the road, too. Don't be that dick. But cool. Alright, can't really complain with that. So I think I'm going to throw the other one in there, and then when it's dark, we're going to try them out. And just like that, we've got a pair of headlights installed. Cool. See, one of my running lights is out. Wonder if it's the bulb or the socket. These sockets are just terrible. They don't really last very long. Give you a far away look at the pattern. Seeing that Batman symbol now? I have a little bit, but that's not bad. It still looks kind of mean. It's alright. But that's what just the daytime running lights by themselves look. So if you want to give just that extra bit of flair when you're on the road, you got that too. Okay, so radio test. I got myself a kind of weak station. We're going to see what they do. Ready? I don't really hear a difference at all. Yeah, cool. Passes the radio test. Excellent. At least they finally got that down. Radio interference was such a pain in the ass with the older versions. Cool. Alright, so here we are in the night. I just want to give you a quick look at how these things actually look. It's got our running lights, and we got our low beams. So there you go. You kind of see that. Finally, the high beams. Nice. Alright, cool. Well, these seem to work. I'm going to go pull up a garage real quick, and we'll see what the beam really looks like. Alright, so here is the light pattern up close. I figure this is a really good way to visualize what you're actually spilling onto the road. So let's bring this down a bit. You can see that's actually got a fairly sharp cutoff compared to the previous, the 2 lights ago, where it was really just a square blob. This one looks a lot nicer. See, there's a nice cutoff, and it actually goes out left and right a fair bit. Same over on that side. It's not too much spill, especially for the type of lens that's using. That's not half bad. Alright, and then this is the pattern when everything's together. So you can see the high beams add that little square. There's a bit on the top and a little on the bottom in the full beam. So if I cover, you can see that's the top, the upper high beam there. And then that is the lower high beam right there. So you can kind of see the 2 squares there. Nice. So I'm curious what that actually looks like on the road, but that's not half bad. So now we're going to pull back 25 feet and see what this really looks like. Our hotspot is like right on this line, so we want to adjust to make sure that the cutoff is around that line so we're not blinding people. That's not too bad. Alright, so we're going to adjust this down a little bit so that we're at that line. I'm going to bring this down a bit. So this one, just make sure because that other one's way over. This one, for some reason, this has got to go in a lot. Okay, so I'm a little crooked in the driveway, but that's looking a heck of a lot better, so I think we should be happy with that cutoff. Let's go for a drive and see what it looks like. So here we are with some low beams. That high beam is actually not half bad. Again, it looks a lot better than the previous one I had. The previous one, the high beam just looked like a little circle. This one's got a pretty nice pattern. I think I can adjust them up a little bit though. It might be down just a bit. That's the low beams. That's the high beams. So you can see the signs down there. Pretty big difference. I can definitely bring them up a bit. They're a little low. Alright, we're a little higher now. Let's see what that looks like. Alright, here's our first car test. Let's see how we do with oncoming. Okay, there's our low beams and our high beams. And the running lights. All right. So overall, they're not half bad. The low beams, I feel like maybe they sit a little lower. They're slightly underwhelming for this particular design. Maybe they just need to be adjusted up a little bit more. I'll play with it and see. But the high beam is definitely nice and high and illuminates a lot of the road. So if you need that extra light, the high beams will do it. So again, thanks to my sponsor, AUDEXEN, for sending me these lights to review. So yeah, I guess let me know what you think. If you like these or want to see any other styles, they do have one more style that was similar to the ones I had in before this with the big alien eyes, but it has some daytime running lights on the side as well. So yeah, check their Amazon page for that. It's actually got the running lights on the left and right, and then the big circles in the middle. So yeah, that's the one he was really pushing. That one's probably got an interesting pattern as well. But anyway, that's all for now. Shill over.